a Sunday. Technically, we should be freaking enjoying our day off, but can't help it. We got deep breads, and we got to talk with the freaking Blue Foundation. Get our strategy straight. All right. Let me put the Blue Castle up. Appreciate everybody hitting the like on the way in. Thanks to any new subscribers to the channel helping us grow. We stream daily, Monday through Friday at 3:30 p.m. PST. And then on Saturday and Sunday, just when we feel like it. And we felt like doing 2 streams today for a little bit. Not a full hour, but we'll give you guys some good stuff. Hey, fellas. Off to bed, sleeping like a baby. TIBBIR. I love it. Love that base, Patsy. That's awesome. Just did his due diligence, dropping the TIBBIR love there. That's awesome, base, Patsy. TIBBIR in the reds. TIBBIR in the reds, right? TIBBIR under 40 cents is always not looking too bad at that range. You know, we know how base Patsy feels about it. 2 Sunday streams. G, you're on fire. Hustle hard, crypto. I appreciate that, man. Hey, man, we're just trying to stay... I mean, we're passionate about crypto. We love crypto, and we love hanging out with the Blue Foundation. And freaking, you know, we got to enjoy these days while we still got it. We got to enjoy the days of reds. Well, I mean, it's been a long, long year of reds and sideways, but we got to enjoy these days because when the bull cycle starts coming around, man, we're celebrating. We're on the... Well, that'll be the celebration streams while everybody else will be jumping in here. All the grays will be coming on in going, hey, should I get this crypto? Should I buy that crypto? Should I get this? Does this still have juice? Right? We'll already just be in here celebrating, man. Blue Crew will be turning into green. The Blue Foundation will turn into green Foundation. The Green Giants, they'll be up in the Green Mountains, right? While all the grays are just scrambling for drops, trying to figure out what cryptos to buy. 2 Sunday streams. Shout out to you. JC, what's up, man? Appreciate you jumping on in. So we got to enjoy these deep breads while we got them, man. We got to enjoy the deep breads while we got them. And there's still a lot of opportunities out there. You know, one of the cryptos that we've talked about in the deep breads, I haven't talked about too much of, but this one's definitely worth like keeping an eye out for, guys. We talked about this over the summer. It was at a higher price, but it's in the deep breads right now, and we've shouted it out. It's just hard to get. And you know when it's hard to get, that's a freaking good crypto. I mean, I just put up a post on X. If you guys aren't following me on X, I appreciate you if you are. Always grateful, living a life of gratitude over here. I'll never tell you what to do. You guys do everything out of the genuine, you know, out of genuine, you know, just being genuine, right? You genuinely hit the like, you genuinely hit the sub, you hit the bell, you do all that good stuff. You guys are the ones who are deciding to do that out of your own hearts. And I am so grateful for it as always. And over on X, we are G_DLT1. If anybody wants to follow us there, in the description below, we have our Ember app. Hopefully we won some of our predictions this week on Sunday football. Interested to see what we got, you know, if we got extra Satoshis through the Ember app there. That would be amazing. You know, maybe try to withdraw them and try to cash them into some of these deep reds. We have our referral code there if you guys want to mine extra Satoshis with us. It's just as easy as watching one ad, hitting, you can even skip the ad, man. You can just, the moment the ad plays, swipe up, close the app, open it up again, press start earning Bitcoin, and you're freaking earning Bitcoin for the next 24 hours, earning Satoshis. Hey, man, I mean, these Satoshis, if Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million like everybody, you know, I guess everybody thinks, I mean, I don't know, but if it goes to a freaking $1 million, these Satoshis are going to be freaking expensive. If you're cranking out like even 10 Satoshis per hour, that's better than not cranking out any Satoshis, right, during the day. Hell, you're getting $10 per hour just by hitting the freaking thing on your phone, right? If you think BTC is going to be a future million coin, right? So we love the Ember app, and we have like a little strategy with the predictions that you can make there on sports and stuff. But once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am not, what's it called? I am always wrong, but the Blue Foundation is always right. This is the worst show with the best community, and I'm so grateful to the community that continues to support us day in, day out. You guys are out of this freaking world. You're just as crazy about crypto, if not crazier about crypto than I am. So, going into it, this crypto that I was just talking about, Supra. Supra is the crypto. We've talked, dude, we were in early days on Supra, man. And it looks like there's some love building up through some of my, you know, some of the people that I've been following and some of the followers that have been following me, messaging me. Supra is one. What about Supra? Talk to us about Supra. All right, I like Supra, man. Supra is followed by the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. Supra can definitely be one of those dark horse contenders that nobody saw coming in this next bull cycle, and then they're chasing freaking, pennies worth or what have you. It's 100 billion supply, multi-virtual machine layer 1 crypto right here. Continuing to build, even though it's in the deep reds, continuing to, be active, which is amazing. I think it was at 001 when we shouted out in the deep reds about a couple of weeks ago. It's a hard crypto to get. I can't even freaking get it because it's only on exchanges that don't freaking allow the US to invest in. So that really pisses me off. But you know what? That means it probably is a freaking an amazing crypto. And if the Decentralized Recovery Alliance is interested in knowing what's going on with Supra, I'm interested in knowing what's going on with Supra. So SUPRA, Supra, yet again, calling it out. 001 could be the bottom here. If it goes to triple zeros, holy cow, man. Might be the easiest it'll ever be to get 1 million of a freaking multi-virtual machine layer 1 crypto, and then just seeing where it can go from there. But yeah, very excited for that crypto. People wanted to know my opinion on it. We've talked about it in the deep reds. Dude, we've talked about it when it was at like 005, right? It was at 005 and we thought that was a deep red, right? Now at 001, it's even redder, right? So I like Supra as a new kid on the block. We talked about it at 005, chipping away, right? Because it was a new kid on the block. This is why with new cryptos, as bullish as they freaking seem, right? As bullish as they come out of the gate, right? They can freaking wreck you still. They can still wreck you. It doesn't mean that the project is crap. It just means that that's the market doing its thing, right? The volatility of the market, right? Could you text your X link? Unfortunately, if somebody else can do it for me, that would be great. I can't type into the chat, unfortunately, through my phone here, but it is x.com/@G_DLT1, right? @G_DLT1, right? That is the X handle. We have been posting up some we post up some deep reds that, maybe we don't talk about on these streams, but we post them up on our X, right? Or cryptos that I'll get like some good info on, or like a right away deep red. I throw it up on the X. I'll be like, okay, this one looks good. I put up Dragon Chain at a penny. I continue to put Dragon Chain up there on a penny. I probably have done multiple posts throughout the years about Dragon Chain, man. We have if you guys never seen our videos section, by the way, I keep forgetting to talk about that. Guys, our channel has gone through so many phases. Going from times where I never showed my face and I just talked looking at like a view, right? And just was talking over the camera, to the point that I finally decided to show my face. And then we, had a studio and we had a nice little mic and we got to show the screen, got to do 24-hour streams, got to stream freaking events that were going on across the world, talking about digital assets, IMF events, right? I would love to get back to that. And we will. We'll probably get back to that sometime soon, right? But I also made freaking montage videos, right, of Ripple interviews, or shorts as well. I mean, if you guys haven't checked out any of those from back in the day, there's some great information still in those videos, right? And we would do some with interwoven with movie clips. I mean, never as good as what's his name, Notorious XRP does it, dude. Notorious XRP, that's like a whole amazing production, right? But it was around the same time that he started doing that, we started doing that, right? We were freaking, because we have film production experience too, or just love movies, right? And we were just freaking, cranking out some awesome, I look at those still to this day sometimes, and there's still some good old stuff, right, that they've been mentioning and planning out for a long time, right? But yeah, outside of that, let's get back into it. So we have deep dive videos. We have a deep dive video that we did about Solana. Hell, if you type down on YouTube, no one talks about Solana and GDLT or GXRP, you'll see our video. It's one of our biggest videos because it was probably our best call of the channel. I think SHX so far has been, and maybe, some of these other ones might go beyond that. Right. But Solana, when it was, In the video, it was right when it was getting to $15, and we were just like going, okay, still nobody is talking about this. Like, it literally has gone from $1.50 up to $15, and still nobody was talking about Solana, right? And then next thing you know, Solana goes to the 200 ranges, highs. FTX collapse happens. Solana goes down to $9. I come on here going, this isn't about the technology. This isn't about Solana. It's about freaking SBF and what his shady ass crap that he was doing, right? Hell, if anything, it was more so about the elite just, moving the chess pieces around, right? Doing their things with their pawns. SBF was definitely a pawn. Definitely a pawn. Getting people to chase, go in that direction, right? And then they did a great job of fudding Solana, right? Making people not even interested in Solana, right? While they got to scoop up cheaper bags, right? They got to scoop up $9 Solana, right? At that bottom, right? And luckily, Blue Foundation saw through that, right? It's a game of chess, guys. It's a game of freaking chess. The elite, hell, you hear Crypto Siege say it all the time. The elite don't want us to win, guys. And they're playing freaking chess. They're having people chase the cryptos that they run through the numbers all the freaking time, guys. They know the amount of exposures and levels to these cryptos and how they can just continue and continue to leave the world behind, right? And some of these there's going to be a crypto project that is absolutely quiet. Who knows which one it is? Hopefully we've got it, right? Hopefully. That's why I love Deep Reds, guys, because there's minimal interest. They're going to make one of these cryptos that has zero interest at all, right? Nobody cares about this freaking crypto, bashes on it, or doesn't even know the name. Doesn't even know the name, right? And that's going to be one of the cryptos that just at the very last moment, right when the interest is at its freaking lowest and at its peak, they'll flip the switch, leave the world behind on, and nobody will have a chance to get in early or have an impact on that blockchain. They'll just be scooping up drops, right? That's how they play this game. They want you to chase the cryptos that they want you to chase, and then be forgetting about cryptos that are building this freaking infrastructure in the background, right? Or not even knowing about them, like, at all. Help G get onto the Paul Barron podcast. I appreciate it, man. I don't know if we'll ever get there. We've been streaming for 9 years, and we don't even get really asked to jump onto anybody's crypto channel. Shout out to Crypto Therapy, making me feel a little bit special here, asking me to jump onto their channel this coming Saturday. We're going to see if we can do that and set that up. That would be amazing if, shout out to Marvin Davis, shout out to Fuma, shout out to Nina Blossom. They're one of the only crypto channels that I check out. I'm not really into checking out other influencers too much, but when you're a young channel and you've been supporting our channel for a long time, I don't mind returning the favor or just checking you guys out. And dude, they're great. They're great. So Crypto Therapy, if you guys haven't heard of them, I would give them a follow. They're still like, they're 150. We're buying the Deep Reds on Crypto Therapy. They're at 150 subscribers, soon to be over 1,000 without a doubt. And they'll probably surpass our channel, just like every other channel does, right? Have you ever withdrawn from Ember yet, bro? I have withdrawn. It takes weeks. Be prepared to wait a long time for your Ember withdrawals. But it does withdraw, and you do get it. So that's good to know, right? You just panic. I mean, this is the thing with BTC. This is why BTC freaking sucks, right? This is why Bitcoin sucks, right? It's just everything. Even if you're trying to build with BTC or trying to do these things with BTC, it takes for freaking ever, right? But you can withdraw off the Ember app. You can withdraw your BTC off the Ember app, and it will go to your wallet in time. They give you a timeline of when to expect it as well. They say an estimated arrival date. It freaking sucks to see it, but hey, I was earning these passively and not putting any of my money in it. I don't mind waiting for some money to show up into my wallet. It's like Christmas freaking day. I convert it into XRP, convert it into HBAR, convert it into Algorand, you name it, right? ICP now, ICP freaking great, creating a game change. Dude, this thing is absolutely bonkers, this caffeine.ai, man. Like, get ready, dude. We're just going to have millions of apps, useless freaking apps now, right? Everybody's just going to make every idea they have. They're just going to be freaking it, throwing it at the AI. Make this app for me. The app does the coding for you and can create simulated apps. You know, like if it deals with money stuff, they'll create a simulation for you so you can prove to people how it works, right? That's amazing, dude. That is an amazing thing, an amazing innovation. And then if it's, you know, just a kind of like an app that doesn't have to do with like any money receiving or giving, I think they can fully make that app for you. Like caffeine.ai. Holy cow, man, get ready. ChatGPT's got to start figuring some new things out, right? Sam Altman's going to probably be bouncing on that real quick, right? Following you now on X. Appreciate that, JC. Shout out to you. Have you withdrawn from member yet? I have. You can totally do it. I'll be on an island in Thailand with my girls. There you go. Yeah, guys, appreciate you going to that X status. And I appreciate you trying Hustle Hard Crypto. I appreciate you trying, man. We have a heavy shadow over our head on this stream, on this channel, but it is what it is, man. You know, once again, they're trying to limit people's exposures. And the funny thing is, it's like we're the only channel that talks about every crypto that people are absolutely low sentiment on and very afraid. So maybe that's why we don't get a lot of viewers, because people are not really interested in these cryptos to begin with. But at the same time, it's like these are the cryptos that'll probably make the filthiest upon filthiest of gains, right? I mean, they got to dig themselves out of their like 90 to 70% holes and then get back to their all-time highs and then make, you know, more than those all-time highs if they're a real deal type of crypto, right? And by that time, that's like what, a 10x, 100x plus. So anyways, we do have deep reds from earlier that we can talk about. Index has been a very interesting one to me, just because I don't have, like, dude, BDP, like big data protocol, Index, XPX even, Amico, AMIKO. These are cryptos that, you know what, I'll just throw a little bit here. Never think about it again. Never think about it again. Get whole numbers, check out, right? Index is at 89 cents. Let me see. Negative 68% down on the year. 10 million total supply. I repeat, a 10 million total supply. This crypto allows you to earn yield on some of the blue chip cryptos. It allows you to earn yield on XRP. That's pretty interesting. But yet we never hear about it. Nobody talks about Index. They have a pretty interesting user interface on their website, if you guys have ever checked it out. It's called Index Coupe or something like that. It's an owl, black and white owl head, right? This could be one of those ones that nobody talks about that ends up crazy supply shock, right? So if I even get 5 of these with my $5, right? I get 5 of these out of that 10 million. That's still more than, you know, that's still more than nothing. And if it, you know, starts going to some pretty crazy prices in the future or in this bull cycle, when people are looking every which way to take advantage of low supply cryptos, see, that's the funny thing. In bull cycles, people look to take advantage of these type of cryptos. In the red times, people want to stay away. They're scared. It's deep reds, right? But we're already setting up that foundation early. We're setting up the foundation early. We're getting whole numbers of these for cheap. We're taking little swings. They could have a big impact. Index at 89 cents, negative 68% down, 10 million supply. I throw $5, get 5 whole ones, 6 whole ones, 7 whole ones. Never think about it again. I'll probably go round it out to try to just get 10 whole ones of that 10 million supply and then bounce. Never think about Index ever again. Maybe try to find a way to take advantage of some of its yield opportunities for Index. Make the Index work for me while I'm just not thinking about it ever again, right? But I love my weird black and white crypto logos. I love cryptos that have an X in them, like Index over here. And once again, it's in the deep reds. The risk, it's super high risk, of course, like anything, but the risk is baked into the price, and that ratio, you know, we know Buster loves to talk ratios. We love talking those ratios too. The price to supply dynamic right there, 89 cents, 10 million supply, negative 68% down for Index. We talked to Miko. The digital twin narrative is there's going to be a hype cycle for digital twins. And Amico is setting themselves very well to be one of those leaders. AI agents need digital twins. They need sovereign operators to tell them where to make the payment, how to do the payment, what to do in general, right? What, so the relationship that Amico or something like Twin Protocol with the ASI Alliance, that's an interesting one to keep an eye out for, especially if you got collaborations with the ASI Alliance right there, FET and Singularity, right? Dude, Singularity was like way ahead of everything in terms of the artificial superior intelligence and artificial general intelligence conversations. If you've ever seen any conversations with, oh man, Ray Kurzweil, no, not Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil created the simulacra or singularity theory. But this guy, the founder of Singularity X, is, basically a disciple of Ray Kurzweil. So ASI is always worth keeping an eye out for. FET is a wonderful deep red. Everybody is chasing virtuals, and I love virtuals. I'm not saying that it's like a bad crypto. I think virtuals is going to it has a great first mover advantage. It's definitely embedded in that X402 scheme. So it's definitely one that we want in our portfolio. We absolutely need to have some virtual in our portfolio, but we cannot forget about FET, right? FET right now, the interest is super low, right? People are afraid of even touching this crypto now because they're just thinking since all the other AI cryptos are going, that maybe FET is dead. Right? FET, and then, Ocean Protocol, the FUD is heavy on this crypto, and that could be great. That could be great. So the risk is high, right? The FUD is heavy. Small swing could possibly go a long way right there with FET. Robert, what's up, man? Brother, shout out. Dude, thank you, Roberto. Appreciate that, man. If you guys enjoy deep reds, if you guys enjoy talking about cryptos that everybody's afraid to talk about, right? And has super low sentiment, everybody thinks is dead, or don't even know about whatsoever, I appreciate any support in whichever way, guys. Hitting the like tremendously helps, viewing helps, commenting helps, subscribing helps, hitting the bell, all that good stuff, memberships help. In the description below, we have referral codes for awesome apps that help you earn crypto passively, and you earn, a little extra for using those referral codes. And we have our Coinbase ID if anybody wants to donate any of these cryptos. Hell, you can send me any of these deep reds. If you don't want these cryptos and you think you're dead, I'm happy to take them. Happy to take them, right? And the donation could go a long way, and I just appreciate y'all. Much love. Dragon Chain, at a penny, 344 million supply. This one's a quiet crypto. Nobody has interest in it. They've just been building and continuing to do what they do. And look at this. It is Disney's first open source project. The first one ever, right? Dragon Chain, right? You have Dragon Chain NFTs that are out. You have a Dragon Chain social media platform that is actually better than X. Like, no joke. The system that Dragon Chain has in their den.social versus X, like, the quality of the news on Dragon Chain is probably better in their social. Like, if it were to, really draw flavor, they have this upvote, downvote system. I think it's pretty similar to what Reddit does. But dude, this is a very important thing. It helps legitimize the posts, right? If you think the post is utter crap or it's a false one, you downvote it. And then the other posts that are similar to it are getting the upvotes. You have a better quality post and a better quality, information. So, but either way, this is a freaking crypto that has those things for years. It's had a den.social for years. It's had a social media platform for years. They have patents in the US. They're a homemade crypto in the US. They have quantum resistant technology, right? Penny 344 million supply. Once again, we can get 100 of these and never think about them again. And for minimal amount, for $5, right? Or something like that, whatever. Never think about DRGN again if I don't really believe in it. But I love quiet cryptos. I love cryptos that are quiet. I love cryptos that are probably under NDAs because of how much of a powerhouse they are. When you're serving enterprises and you're serving banks and you've actually made these partnerships and you've actually proven your technology, remember, the elite don't want you to win, right? They want you to have no interest in that then. They're going to do everything they can to keep that project hush hush on the down low, right? So minimal people are talking about it or even thinking about it, right? And, meanwhile, we're here, and what do they do to our channel? They keep the channel on the hush-hush. They keep it low. They make sure that this channel never gets to certain levels, right? They just keep making sure that we just steadily grow one subscriber, perhaps a day, or, we'll go negative 2 subscribers and then gain 1 subscriber, and we just kind of stay at a happy medium, right? We just stay trudging along, right? We've been doing this for 9 years, you guys, doing stuff like this for 9 years. And, there's channels out there that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers just for talking about one crypto, and talking about cryptos that people are interested in, right? Not low sentiment cryptos, right? Not ones that people, we're not here trying to get, the enterprises and banks aren't here to try to get X followers, right? They're not here to try to get the degens, right? They're not here to try to get degens to FOMO, right? And, they want you to be not interested in these cryptos whatsoever, right? They've been doing a good job. Bloopity bloop in the house. Appreciate you. Hustle hard in the house. Guys, I appreciate the few of you who are in the chat. You guys are amazing. If you have any questions, this is the opportunity, man. Because sometimes the chat rolls along and, we don't get to everybody's thing. But I appreciate those who are in it. We'll love to know how many devs are on Dragon Chain. Dude, that's the thing, too. We can't... Let's not think about developers. Let's think about the quality of the technology and their use case and what they're able to do. When you're a first open source project by Disney, that means you probably have some Disney developers. Safe to say, right? But why would they put that out in the public? Why would they want people in the public to know that Disney is developing on this? They have it under NDA, right? There are, once again, with developers and public commits, right? Open to the public to see what developers are working on it and the level of commits. These could be deceiving because there's private repos. There's private GitHubs for enterprise developers. So they can build behind the scenes on these projects without you freaking knowing, right? So we think, oh, look, let's look into the developers. Let's look into the public development and the level of commits, right? That can give us a sign if this crypto is legit or not. Yes, perhaps in a speculative sense, it definitely can help you without a doubt. But when you're dealing with non-disclosure agreements and you're trying to satisfy the big money customers, you switch it over to the GitHub private, private ledger, right? For XRPL, right? You switch it over to the private side. You do private development that the public cannot see, right? They can't see the accounts. They can't see the number of developers on these projects. So as much as, we love checking that out to see what public commits there are private commits. And those private commits are the big money ones with NDAs, right? And so I don't want to make assumptions right here, but Dragon Chain, knowing its history from Disney, right, probably has some interesting NDAs going on with it. And if you look at the level of the tech, right, how transparent this CEO is, he streams weekly, answers any question you want to throw at him, right? He streams weekly. He says what he's allowed to say, right? Because he's under NDAs. He's trying to satisfy the customers, right? He's trying to make sure he's playing freaking ball, right? Same thing with XX Network. David Chom, when you have meetings about privacy CBDCs with the Bank of England, and maybe there's a partnership that gets made there. Maybe there's a deal that's signed. NDAs start to happen. You don't see David Chom just starting to freaking say, hey, oh my God, you got to buy XX Network. You got to buy the XX token. All the degens, get ready. XX Network is coming. Please follow XX Network, right? That's not the strategy that, the suits play, right? I wonder if Apex could find the number. Well, Apex, we've talked about Apex with this. He can only find the level of public commits. Once again, private repos and GitHub numbers are very hard to penetrate. It's not something that you can do so easily. You can be able to find the public ones and make a list like Apex does. And if you guys want to check out ChainSpect, right, or Chain Aspect, there's something called ChainSpect or Chain Aspect that does something similar to what Apex Crypto was doing with his list, right? That lets you know about the level of public commits and developer activity, right? Once again, this could be deceiving because it's public developer activity. It's not ever the private development, right? And we have to understand there is private development. There is an avenue in GitHub that for enterprises specifically, because dude, it is, what do they care about? They care about security, man. Why would they want to do these public commits and then compromise the security of their platforms, compromise the security of themselves, right? That's why GitHub has private repos for private development and enterprise development. Ask ChatGPT about this stuff. Hey, if I was a blockchain project that got an NDA with the CBDC or a central bank, right, for CBDCs, but for some reason, you know, there's not much public commit, could this be as a result of the NDAs with the CBDCs? Could this be a result of maybe they're doing private development? Or is there such a thing as private development or private GitHubs, right? Any of these questions, ChatGPT will, you know, or, you know, Grok will be happy to answer for you. And they will say, yes, there is avenues for private development that the public is not allowed to see, right? Remember, they don't want you to win. They don't want you to win. They want you to have no interest in the cryptos that they have a ton of. They want you to work for drops. They want you to be plugged in all the time to your devices. Everybody is going to be a digital creator. Everyone's going to have a digital twin as well, an AI version of themselves in the metaverse or on the net, right? Doing things on their behalf because it knows them very well. How does it know them very well? How will it know humans? How will it know me so well? When you get into the era of monetization, micropayments and streaming little bits of data at a time, this is what's such an innovative thing about the micropayments, guys. Once you destroy this old style, this old rails, the traditional financial system that has little old school subscription models. Oh, you pay monthly for your subscription to Netflix. What if you're allowed to use any streaming platform? The moment that you go into one of them, you're paying by the second or millisecond in little bits, fractions of pennies, right? And if you watch a whole movie, it finally adds up to the total of what the whole movie would have been to rent, for example, like maybe $3.99, right? But let's say you don't like the movie. Let's say you're watching the first 10 minutes and you stop watching the movie. And I'm saying this for all different types of content. I'm just using Netflix as an example, but this is what the future is like since it's going to be all digital, right? And everybody's going to be a digital creator, right? Let's say I only watch 10 minutes of that movie. Then I only stream 10 minutes of micropayments to it and I move on. Dude, this gives Netflix so much better information than just getting the current information that they get. Oh, this person saw the movie because they clicked on it and it counts as a view. It counts as a total view. What if you hated that movie? And then they start recommending you movies that are similar to that. But you didn't even watch the whole freaking movie. You're like, dude, my Netflix doesn't even know who I am. Why are they even recommending this film to me? Right? And then next thing you know, when you do the micropayments thing, they're able to review the data and go like, oh, he only saw this movie for 10 minutes. So let's not recommend similar movies to him because we want him to watch, movies for as long as possible. So what are other movies that he saw the whole freaking film? Let's recommend movies like that. That is already a world of difference for advertisers and advertising of how they can get you to just keep consuming their content, keep wanting to come back for more, right? Because you're going to love that technology knows you so well. Like, oh crap. Yeah, I'll check out that movie. I love that last movie. And this one, if it's similar to that, I'm down to freaking watch it, right? Same thing with just think about it with anything else. Like when you think about this micropayments economy and micro data, dude, they're gonna know you so well. You'll have a digital twin who's just acting on your behalf as if it's you because they'll know what you do. They'll know what you freaking like, right? They know what you pay attention to. Same thing with when you're streaming the internet. Let's say you go to a website and the amount of time you're spending on that website, you're just sending little micro packets of data, right? All of a sudden the advertiser's like, damn, dude, this dude spends a lot of time on this freaking site. Let's freaking send him advertising, based on things that are similar to that site and maybe get him to other sites to stream micropayments of data to, right? The advertising industry is about to boom from micro monetization, from micropayments, right? And, hell, the content industry, all that stuff is going to freaking boom. And especially when you're in metaverse, right? When you have like metaverse, like being actually legit, when social media starts to become a metaverse in itself, right? When you have social, like, you know what? Sorry, man, I can't make it to that event tonight. I can't meet up with you, but hell, maybe I'll tune in through the metaverse. Or do you just want to hang out and just play through the metaverse, and then you just, like freaking awesome RPG games right now that you can hang out with online, but imagine those are freaking your social media platforms, and it's freaking realistic looking as hell, right? You got your VR goggles on, and you're just sitting on your couch, and you feel like you're just freaking, and you're hanging out with your friend, going to anywhere on the net, right? Freaking Ready Player One status. How do I subscribe to you? What's up, Holistic Thoughts? I mean, you can just search GXRP, search my channel, hit one of the logos, hit everything to just figure out how to sub on this vertical thing. The least you can do is double tap the screen and hit the like, and then you can look at your liked videos on your YouTube. It'll say GXRP. You can freaking click there, and then you can subscribe as well. Either way, I appreciate it. Much love to y'all. Mo Zerp's in the house. How you doing? What's your favorite NDA coins, G? My favorite NDA coins, I mean, XRPL, we definitely know XRP has been dealing with some NDAs for a long time. It looks like they're letting things out of the bag now because they've definitely left a good portion of the world behind. They had enough opportunities at very, very cheap XRP prices. But let's talk about some very, very under the cover ones, right? Rose, the blue Rose, Oasis Protocol at 1 penny. Dragon Chain at 1 penny. Oasis Protocol is at a 10 billion supply, like 78+% down. First crypto to do inherently private smart contracts. AI focus from the beginning. Privacy focus from the beginning. Everybody loves AI. Everybody loves investing in privacy now. But for some reason, Rose isn't moving. So it's tricking some investors in and out. They're going, oh man, okay, I'm going to go chase these AI agents because they seem like they have more momentum now than Rose. And then I'll come back into Rose. Right? And then you never really do come back into Rose. And then freaking Rose starts running and you go like, damn, dude, all I had to do was have patience. All I had to do was have freaking patience. XX Network is another one of them. Quantum resistant crypto. David Chaum talked to Bank of England and other banks about privacy-focused CBDCs. Never really hear from them outside of them just talking about the importance of quantum, right? The importance of quantum computing, the importance of being quantum resistant, right? And how Bitcoin's, encryption could be technically cracked by quantum computing, right? And yeah, a lot of people say, well, that's decades away, G. That's decades away. The fact that it's still possible probably doesn't make businesses who want future-proof technologies feel comfortable, right? So XX at 1 penny, less than 1 billion supply, negative 78% down. One of my favorites, at least my deep red of 2025. SHX was definitely one of those at 0003s. At 1 penny, it's still good. This thing's not on Uphold or Coinbase. They're still trying to limit the amount of exposure to this digital asset. They're starting to play Ripple XRP mind games, like old school Ripple and XRP mind games on this crypto. They'll probably keep it at 1 penny or around this range for a long time, you guys. They're going to really test your patience with SHX. It's just the nature of the beast. Dude, this thing was the top gaining crypto in all of 2024. So it already had its bull cycle in 2024 for SHX, right? SHX already outgained all the ISO 20022 cryptos, right? So, if this thing takes another 2 years to start moving and going up to the dollar range, I have the patience. I'm willing to wait. I'll just freaking participate in DeFi, keep stacking up blue bricks, make a whole blue castle. XPX, loved XPX at triple. It could be dangerous now with XPX because it's a high volatility crypto. But dude, this one is one that they gotta be playing mind games with it. They gotta be playing mind games with XPX. Sirius Chain, XPX, winner of a CBDC tech sprint in 2022, who's the Bank of Indonesia, the BIS, the G20, and Monetary Authority of Singapore participated in this event. Finalists for providing end-to-end CBDC solutions from beginning, creation and distribution to rollout in a completely, end-to-end experience. The finalists for the CBDC tech sprint in 2022. Why are you living in the past, G? I'll keep talking. The finalists were Ripple, So we got XRP in there. Stellar, we got XLM in there. R3, we got R3 in their basket, right? Technically XRPL again or XTC, right? And then we had Dragonfly FinTech. And guess who won? Guess who won that CBDC tech sprint in 2022? Dragonfly FinTech, utilizing Sirius Chain, Proxima X. It used to be called Proxima X. Now it's just Sirius Chain, but you can still call it Proxima X if you want. XPX was the winner. They were the ones that were publicly acknowledged. Dragonfly FinTech, the company, by using Proxima X and Sirius Chain as their blockchain technology to provide end-to-end CBDC solutions. The Bank of Indonesia, the People's Bank of China was on that panel. The Bank of England was on that panel. Major banks, Federal Reserve banks were on that panel. Monetary Authority of Singapore, and once again the BIS publicly acknowledging that they won for utilizing their blockchain, right? Lon Wong, the creator of XPX and the Sirius Chain here, has a video of him talking about and accepting the award for winning end-to-end CBDC solutions. Now, what happened here? XPX had a nice little run-up, but then it was during the bear cycle. So XPX came back down to earth and crashed, started going into triple zeros, stayed at triple zeros forever. You have an occasional little run-up and then just sideways for a really, really long time since, right? No activity after this. After this happened, dude, they were active. Like in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, CBDC event happens, nothing to hear from them ever again. Right? Just silence. Right? And then next thing you know, little things start bubbling up over, in 2024. After like a year and a half or 2 year hiatus, we start getting little bubbles they get a rebrand. They go, instead of Proxima X Sirius Chain, they just stay Sirius Chain. They get it added on to ChainSpect, which adds a ton of cryptos that have, a bunch of layer one awesome cryptos on ChainSpect to, analyze development or, development frequencies, right? They're on there. Then they released their mainnet storage solution in 2025. This year, they released their mainnet storage. So now they are a complete stack of data, storage, and compute in one holistic solution, XPX. And XPX is the only crypto, it's a hybrid blockchain, private and public. It's the only digital asset that has KYC natively built into that protocol. You don't have to rely on any third parties for your KYC solutions, right? So this protocol is a holistic solution, fast transactions per second, cheap fees, right? Layer one crypto that is in triple zeros and is ISO 20022 compliant and aligns with the National Institute Standards of Technology US, guidelines, right? So XPX, I think, dude, it reminds me so much of when SHX was at triple zeros. SHX was quiet from 2018 to 2023. You had some influencers talk about it when it was at pennies, but the moment it got to triple zeros, everybody just forgot about it, gave up on it, didn't want to talk about it. The institutions probably didn't forget about it. The elite probably didn't forget about it. They were probably scooping up a bunch of triple zero SHX, right? Next thing you know, it goes from triple zeros up to 1 penny or 3 pennies, actually, in 2024. Highest gaining crypto out of all the ISO 20022 cryptos. It outgained every crypto. It was the deep red poster boy. It was at the bottom of the freaking pit and became the top dog in gains, right? This is why we love the deep reds, guys. This is why we love the freaking deep reds, because this is how the elite play. They take it down so far that you forget about it and don't care about it, chase other cryptos, and then when you're doing that, they're accumulating it so cheap, and then they make them run, right? Then they flip their switch. Then all of a sudden, Notcha chooses SHX as a preferred partner for the ISO 20022 experience. Next thing you know, SHX is, Sorobon enabled, doing bridges with AXL, all of a sudden you're starting to see rollout of freaking, announcements and partnerships and more activity and education on SHX. That could happen for XPX. That can happen for any crypto that is super quiet right now. Their realities can shift. Their realities can change very easily and very quickly. So that was 5 years from 2018 to 2023 for SHX in just like kind of a roller coaster for us going, dude, what is this crypto? What is even going on? Does Stronghold even like it? Does it even use it? Holy crap, we're seeing Stronghold USD utilize in Interledger Protocol. Interesting. Okay, there's some life here. We're just chipping away throughout all of this. The mental roller coaster that they made us go over on SHX. We were saying, in the beginnings, probably the first one to say it, dude, this is like Ripple and Stellar's child, right? Now, a lot of people say that, right? XPX, dude, still, I understand how risky this is. I understand how risky this freaking crypto is. It's super high risk, but once again, I'm just chipping $5 at a freaking time at triple zeros to get 1,000 of these and whatnot, right? Just stacking it up, because if this thing ends up being a powerhouse, that $5 is going to be $5,000, man. If it turns out to be the end-to-end CBDC solution, micropayments type of provider, right? People fighting over drops, we have just made ourselves freaking legends, right? So, that's why I like these quiet cryptos. That's why I like cryptos that are possibly under NDAs. And that's why you don't see these projects going, hey, buy our crypto, buy this crypto right away, right? And they just always talk about the crypto and then try to make you FOMO and going, oh my God, the utility of our crypto is going to blow you freaking away, right? Like, dude, they totally know how to get, certain people to invest in cryptos, man. So same thing with Cody. Cody is a pretty quiet crypto. Dragon Chain for sure. Uncle Buster, if it dips down a bit, we're doing more than coffee money. Dude, Uncle Buster, I think you're good, bro. After hearing what you were saying with the amount that you have there, man, I think we're good, brother. I think you're good, dude. I wouldn't want you to go way more than what you already have, brother. I wouldn't want you to go way more than. Remember, it's always money we can afford to lose, dude, when it comes to these cryptos, man. But XPX, right now, just like it just looks so damn good, man. It's just hard to, like, they're active still. They're still active. They still get commits even publicly. But, with the NDA journey, dude, ask ChatGPT or Grok. Or you could just think it through, right? They win a CBDC tech sprint. Banks go, okay, partnerships. Shut the hell up from here on out for at least a couple of years. Just update what you need to update, release what you need to release to the public, right? In terms of just, oh, okay, you're going to release your mainnet storage, right? You release that, right? Oh, you're going to release an updated wallet that is called Sirius MX. And then the wording MX literally means an ISO 20022 standard messaging. Right? That word MX in ISO 20022 language is suited for that. Right? So there's things brewing, dude. There's things brewing with this crypto. What is up, El Prey? Dude, shout out to you, though, Uncle Buster, man. Thank you for the $20 donation, my man. I might just throw that into XPX for you. I just might throw that into XPX for you, man. Too bullish, dude. Who would have thought we would get a second chance at another SHX? A possible second chance. I'm not trying to guarantee profits here. Once again, that's why I just like chipping away. It's a super high risk crypto, but dude, the small swings, just being ninjas, being even keel, right? Not just FOMOing at the mouth and just being like, crap, dude, G's talking about this one a lot, dude. And the last time he talked about a crypto a lot, it was, let's not play that freaking game, man. I don't want to be responsible for anybody just like, losing families or freaking, losing their well-being, right? We're just chipping away little bits at a freaking time and stuff like that, right? And, just trying to set ourselves up, right, in the right way, right? There's other deep reds to be had, like DEAI. DEAI is an AI crypto. If you're interested in AI cryptos here to keep an eye out for, 1 billion supply, 3 cents. Negative 95% down. DEAI has a following with, is followed or partnered with Near Protocol, has NVIDIA connections, Google connections, Oasis, right? Their Blue Rose, which supposedly everybody thinks is freaking dead, but it looks like they're not dead to me, right? The first private smart contract crypto, Blue Rose, right? Doesn't look like it's dead to me, doing some partnerships here with DEAI. Aptos is partnered with them as well. Dude, DEAI has some solid partnerships for being such a low cap crypto. Negative 95% down at 3 cents. Also has an X logo. You got to freaking love that, right? So keeping an eye out on what DEAI is doing. I've set myself up with a position already at around these price ranges, and it was just chipping away, because that's what I love about the deep reds, man. Small swings can have big impacts, right? And DEAI, with that supply, 1 billion at 3 cents, I'm already doing major damage to that blockchain, right? Just even with the small swing, I already have more whole numbers than probably needed if this crypto starts to go even halfway to where Solana's price was. You know, going from Solana was 500 million supply, going from $1.50 up to 200, right? DEAI is at 3 cents, right? And maybe it goes to $3, right? That's freaking two, you know, that's more than a 10x. That's a nice solid 100x right there. XX network at $1 billion, supply 1 penny. We talked about the Blue Rose at a penny, right? Let's see what else we got. Hashpack, dude, HBAR is an ETF right now. Hashpack, that ecosystem is ripe for the taking and still low volume. Saucer Swap is still at around 4 cents. Dude, people are going to make so much money pairing up their HBAR with Sauce, right? In this next bull cycle, it's going to be filthy, right? Especially if you have early positions. HBAR paired with BSL as well in those liquidity pools, or hell, having some BSL, having the BSL wallet and staking RBSL, right? Staking RBSL will definitely help as well. You can stake your Hashpack as well. Hashpack is one of the only wallets that are out there that can provide decentralized recovery, because it's built on a decentralized recovery founder, HBAR, right? At 1 cent, 1 billion. Dude, that is if anything, the Decentralized Recovery Alliance is already telling you what the elite have chosen, and still nobody cares about those cryptos. Hell, somebody calls them the Get Wrecked Alliance. I love that, right? I love the low sentiment towards those cryptos. I love that they're possibly cryptos that have massive NDAs going on with them. Of course they probably do. Of course they do. Dude, HBAR they're so transparent that they have a governing council of these companies, but I'm sure you don't really see too much. Like, maybe you see some good public developers, right? But I'm interested to see what those private developments are like, right, for HBAR. Let's see what else we got. Guys, we got to be wrapping it up soon here, but I'm happy that we were able to do a second stream and hanging out with everybody here. And thanks to Uncle Buster for stopping by. Shout out to him, man. If you guys haven't checked out Coffee Time, awesome channel, and XRP Boardroom, dude. Uncle Buster's been doing this for a long time, man. He's been hammering away at deep reds for a long time, right? Shout out to Uncle Buster, dude. He's so set, man. He's so set. Uncle Buster is loving crypto right now, dude. He's loving these deep reds. Near Protocol, AI crypto, $2 at 12 cents. Great contender to be the next Solana right there. ICP with what it just released with Caffeine.ai. This thing's going to catch on, guys. Being able to build an app or a simulation of an app to show investors what you're thinking about is massive, right? It's massive. This is a game changer. ICP, what a beautiful opportunity at $4, 500 million supply. Right? And sure, maybe there's going to be copycats, right? Maybe you have this blockchain create their own Caffeine.ai. But dude, the fact that it was the first one to build it out and actually release this is big for ICP and Internet Computer. Internet Computer is a great example of one that they kept low sentiment on for a very, very long time. Nobody was talking about it before we talked about it in the deep reds, right? Because we have to stay committed to the deep reds. We talked about it, in the past couple of streams and so on and so forth. But now it's like, oh man, we got to keep putting it on the deep reds list. It can't just be something that it's like, yeah, we put it on the deep reds list sometimes, and then, okay, we talked about it last stream, let me talk about some new cryptos. Now it's like, no, we need to talk about ICP and Definity a lot more. Always watching and lurking. Shout out to you, Quentin Miller. Thoughts on H-Suite? H-Suite is legit. I like H-Suite. Decentralized Recovery Alliance follows H-Suite. H Suite is a good contender to possibly be a member to join that Decentralized Recovery Alliance. Dude, if you're built on HBAR, you're capable of providing decentralized recovery. Anything in that HBAR ecosystem is ripe for the taking. You feel good about it, it's probably freaking legit. It's probably an awesome crypto to be invested in, because this is such a young market, such a young ecosystem, right? HBAR, very underexposed ecosystem. sauce, BSL, Hashpack, even some of their meme tokens. I like GIB, GIB. I like GIB. I have some GIB on there. You have to have your meme coin play, right? XLM ecosystem, I got my Dogstar meme coin play, and now I'm adding Luminaire, right? I'm adding some Luminaire just in case, because it's a very low supply, and maybe we get supply shock there for that meme coin. But I like Dogstar more than Luminaire. Dogstar's been amazing, man. That dog has just been given and given and given, dude. I just stake it or do liquidity pools with XLM or USDC and Dogstar, and just every time I get my, dude, they disperse rewards hourly. You get rewards of Dogstar hourly, right? Name another crypto that gives you your rewards with it like per hour, right? Instead of just waiting a whole day to get the rewards, you get it per freaking hour into your wallet, right? And I convert it into Blue Bricks SHX, dude, and I go, oh my god, how is SHX still at a penny with me freaking throwing Dogstar at it every freaking day, right? So yeah, definitely like H Suite. I don't mind, dude, Da Vinci as well, or any of these cryptos in that HBAR ecosystem is probably a good play, right? There's an AI crypto on there called Hizen that looks pretty interesting. Kind of threw a little bit into there. Don't want to put too much, but threw a little bit in its way. How many QNT is a good goal? Dude, if you got 10, you're probably good, man. If you got 5, you're probably good. But I think if you have like 10, dude, if you have 10, you're a boss. If you have 10, you're a boss. If you got 100, I mean, well, congratulations, show off. What it do, bro? What's up, Justin X Crypto? Appreciate you jumping on in. Guys, thanks for all the new grays jumping on in and hitting the likes. Thanks to any new support to the channel. As always, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for double tapping the screen for the like. Thanks to any new members to the channel. Description below. You can mine Satoshis with us and earn a little bit extra by using the referral code. And you could swash with us by navigating the internet. Using the referral code earns you extra swash, and it's just part of your browser, and you're making extra of another crypto. Why not be making cryptos passively or as you're doing things, right? This is the way of the future, right? Why would I want to be wasting my minutes and time if I'm not making crypto in some sort of freaking way, right? In some sort of way, shape, or form where cryptos are working for me. I'm staking my rows, making passive rows. I'm staking my, or doing my XRP DeFi through the Garen wallet and Doppler Finance. I like the Doppler Finance. I know everybody else likes FXRP. I've just kind of decided on Doppler Finance. I love FLR, cranking out my FLR, getting my FLR rewards, and just throwing it back into wrapped FLR. Just keep stacking up the FLR, keep stacking up the SGB, staking my HBAR, staking my Hashpack, right? In any way, I must be making crypto even while I'm freaking breathing. Right? Even while I'm freaking breathing, I must be making some crypto. I created Stick on XRP. Awesome, dude. Congratulations, man. Yeah, if you guys want to check out Stick, the meme coin, there you go. Justin, shout out to you, man. Congratulations for making a meme coin on the XRPL. I hope it does you well. I got in early on Caspa memes, faded Solana memes in the beginning, then caught up with XRP memes right away. Nice, man. Congrats. Yeah, everybody's got their journey. Sometimes you have some hits. Sometimes you have some misses. It's the nature of the beast, all in all, man. But yeah, congratulations on the memes and, making tremendous wealth with that. And hopefully you do some good things with your digital asset as well. I hated it too, but I got some more QNT on discount today. Nice, Quentin Miller. Awesome. Do you know me from X? Big into XRP memes. Was like day two early on First Ledger. Damn, Justin X. That's awesome, man. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations. Unfortunately, I'm a very much an infrastructure, like, once again, I talk about cryptos that nobody likes to talk about. I talk about cryptos that are completely red across the board, very low sentiment, interest, and most of the time they're not memes. I do talk about a few memes here and there. Like, I do like pegging trying to have one meme of choice at least per ecosystem that I'm involved in, and I'm involved in all of them, basically. So I want to have like that one meme coin that I think can help me out, boost some gains while, that ecosystem's gaining, right? And hopefully Stick does that for you in the XRPL ecosystem and for the stakeholders and all that good stuff. I hope it does well. We like Fuzzy as well. I mean, Miguel Valles, former Ripple employee, follows Fuzzy. That's pretty freaking interesting. So I don't mind, chipping away on some Fuzzy. Army is interesting as well because the creator of the Ripple logo or the XRP logo made the Army token. So I like tokens that there's like a, pretty legit, if it's a meme token, there's like a legit reason, kind of behind it, or for me, a legit reason, right? Like something like that, right? And what makes me interested in investing in that meme. And then if the meme has utility that I could stake it and build up staking rewards of this meme, that's even more amazing, right? Oh man, having a meme work for me like Dogstar, right? I love the Dogstar token in the XLM ecosystem because I could pair it up with USDC or XLM, and then it just cranks out 40+% APR. Yeah, the volatility happens. I kind of just assume that money is gone regardless anyway. So anything that I'm getting passively, I just celebrate and throw it into blue bricks, and it's going to cancel all out or make me more gains, right? SHIB is partnered with the UAE with their energy infrastructure. Yeah, SHIB could be one of those NDA cryptos for sure, and insert name. Could be one of those cryptos that's under NDA, hence why you don't see too much activity or shout outs about it or things like that, right? Totally could be. By the way, XPX, Proxima X, Sirius Chain has partnership with the Dubai government, early days partnership with the Dubai government, so that's pretty important. Has the biggest liquidity on the market cap ratio. Okay, right on. Cobb got me in day 2, I think on First Ledger. Dude, that's awesome, man. Congrats. Yeah, I mean, I've never been really too good with dude, this probably isn't the channel for you, unfortunately, but I mean, if you're sticking around, I mean, I don't mind you talking your crypto. Maybe the Blue Foundation is interested in it. I just never really have had too much luck with meme coins. I owned millions of Doge back in the day when it was a complete joke, right? When it was viewed to be a complete joke, and then next thing you know, you see what Doge did, right? And then anytime I did memes after that, I just always got wrecked. So, I don't mind maybe chipping $5 away at a time on some of these memes, but I really, I don't make a lot of money to begin with. And like my money's, yes, memes can make me life-changing gains, but I just kind of go to layer 1 cryptos. I like the infrastructure cryptos. I like the cryptos that are completely, stick, luckily it's on XRPL, so it makes it ISO 20022 compliant, but I'm just still like looking at early infrastructure cryptos. And I know a lot of degens hate me saying that, but hey, man, some haters gonna hate some, and it makes no sense. We're just trying to do good times and good vibes, man. We're just trying to bring as many people to the future with us as we freaking possibly can before they try to leave the world behind. And how do they leave the world behind? By making a lot of these cryptos, the dark horses, very low interest, minimizing the amount of interest on or in investment. They're not trying to get degens. They're not trying to get followers on X, right? They're trying to freaking leave the world behind and make sure that we're fighting for drops, right? That's the name of the game. Anubis is serious. Elon Musk's Anubis Halloween outfit, maybe. Dude, insert name. Oh man. Please talk to me. Please talk to me more about that, dude. I need to see that, dude. Yes. Dude, the elite do like the Sirius star. Right? They do like that star, right? Hell, it's called the Dog Star. That's why I like Dog Star token for a little bit of a reason too. But the funny thing is that another thing with the Anubis. So you brought up man, there's multiple Elon Musk connections here. Not only does XPX fit perfect, like if you ask Grok and you just say on technical merits alone, does Proxima X Sirius Chain XPX fit for X money? On technical merits alone, don't look at activity, don't look at anything else, just on the technicals. Does it fit for X money? And it hits every freaking box. Now, you're saying he dressed up as Anubis. Doge is a dog. right? And he talked about Doge. He talked about a dog. What is Sirius? The dog star, right? The dog star. So already, he's probably not going to use Doge, right? He's probably not going to make Doge the X money payments crypto, because we know what's, you know, the underlying technical stuff there with Doge. Maybe it becomes a payments, like, you know, if X is just an everything app, sure, maybe you can use Doge for payments on there. Why not? But what's going to be facilitating all this stuff? What's going to be that true infrastructure there? Founder of XPX Sirius Chain, in some of his interviews, has mentioned utility for social media platforms. And this was before X became X, right? And I was like wondering, why would he say that as one of the... He said if, like, it could be use cases for IoT devices, healthcare, like a lot of things. It's a holistic, and, you know, dude, this thing provided end-to-end CBDC, like, you know, solution. It's a holistic blockchain. It is a powerhouse technically, right? The technical fundamentals are there for XPX. The founder of this made the NEM blockchain, right? XEM, the new economy movement. Back in the day, NEM outgained and was part of the top 3 gaining cryptos of that 2017-2018 bull cycle with Ripple and Stellar. And notice that after that 2018 bull cycle, the mind games began. The mind games began with all 3 of those cryptos. NEM, you know, came back down to earth. XRP came back down. XLM, mind games began. SEC sued Ripple. XLM had a bunch of FUD going towards it with the burning of half their supply and other things as well, right? And then you have XPX here, where NEM basically became this crypto called Symbol, XYM. Symbol had successful CBDC tests, right? It was acknowledged for having successful CBDC tests. They went completely dark mode. Then the founder, Long Wang, of NEM, creates XPX, right? And that, you know, is basically the new NEM, right? It's supposed to be the new and improved M that is satisfying the customers. I think what happened in that 2017-2018 bull cycle, the institutions got very interested in these digital assets and told them, you got to play our game. You got to play balls. You got to respect our freaking NDAs. You got to respect our NDAs, right? Follow the non-disclosure agreements, follow our path. You are one of the chosen ones, right? So I'm excited to see where XPX is going to go, but dang, now with that Elon Musk, like Anubis thing, and then him talking about a dog, the dog star, Sirius, I mean, let's go, dude. I mean, I don't want to make assumptions just on that speculation. Just look at the technicals for XPX, and it fits every box. It's the only blockchain with native, I repeat, native inbuilt KYC. It's the only crypto that has KYC at the protocol level built in, right? That was probably a major deciding factor for these enterprises. Oh, we don't have to rely on a third party for KYC, you know, as an extension of your blockchain or any type of stuff like that. Makes it a lot easier to implement, right? And dude, it's called XPX. X pays X. X account pays X account. Hell, they were called Proxima X before this whole X fad of everything being Disney Plus. You know, pluses are just X's. So such and such plus, such and such X, before that whole fad was happening, right? I thought Metallicus had that, not Proton, but Metal blockchain. I'll double check on that, Uncle Buster. But from what I understand and what I've talked about with AI, the only one, and if anything, the first one to implement, because XPX has been around longer than Metal and XPR, right? XPX has been around longer than those cryptos. So maybe they got inspired by XPX. Who knows? Some of these projects inspire one another, right? You see what XPX can provide decentralized recovery of assets. XPX can allow reversal of transactions. How amazing is that? Just in case of a bank-to-bank transaction is like a little iffy or something. Oh, no worries. We can allow the reversal, right? We can bring it back, right? This is what the benefit of a hybrid infrastructure, blockchain does, right? G to SHX GOAT. What's up, Marvin Davis? Dude, we've been talking with Fuma. I would love to join you guys on Crypto Therapy. I was just shouting out Crypto Therapy earlier. You're the only channel I've been checking out. I mean, outside of jumping on Coffee Time and, checking out XRP Boardroom. Crypto Therapy, definitely needs some more subscribers out there. Shout out to you guys. You guys go through the whole thing, man. You guys make me laugh. You make me cry. You make me question my investments. You make me get bullish on my investments. Dude, it's just a whole experience on Crypto Therapy. Love seeing what you guys are doing there. And all your personalities are freaking awesome, man. Would love to join you guys sometime on there and talk some deep reds without a doubt. I've been in crypto a long time, since 2011, and never heard of reversing transactions. That is crazy. Yeah. Dude, check out the technicals on Sirius Chain XPX. Just check out its white paper. Check out what it can provide to enterprises. It won a CBDC tech sprint in 2022 that included finalists that were Ripple, Stellar, and R3, and they ended up being the winner, right? They won under the name Dragonfly Fintech, but Dragonfly Fintech utilized the Sirius X Proxima X blockchain, right? And then they went ghost. They went ghost for 2 years. All of a sudden in 2025, this year, they released their storage mainnet. They are a full stack experience, data, storage, and compute, and native KYC inbuilt, fast transaction speeds, cheap fees. They released a new wallet called Sirius MX. And if you know what the MX means, it's ISO 20022 language. This is an ISO 20022 crypto. This is the only ISO 20022 crypto that nobody talks about. Everybody is afraid to talk about Sirius Chain XPX. Despite the stuff that I repeat over and over again about it on streams. I talk about a lot of cryptos, right? But we've been talking up a little bit more XPX because I'm just like, why are people, like, I really just don't understand why people are afraid to talk about it. It did a 6x in the span of 2 months. It was at 0001 2 to 3 months ago. It was at less than $1 million market cap and went up to $5 million in market cap within a couple of months. We're getting closer to the ISO 20000 2022 launch, or supposed launch. I think it's just going to be another coexistence period. They're going to give their banking partners another year to onboard, and then somewhere, it could be 2026 or 2027, the cyber event happens. NTT Data has said the beginning of the year 2027 is when the cyber event happens, right? We maybe misconstrued it for a year ahead, but when you do the numbers on that, I don't know if anybody's ever seen this video from NTT Data. If you search awakening or trust, so we would type down trust, awakening of the banking industry, NTT Data. That video series will blow your freaking mind and make you so bullish on XRP and make you so bullish on every crypto that is ISO 20022 compliant and micropayments based. The future is going to be machine-to-machine payments. AI agents are here. Digital twins are coming, right? They keep talking about aliens from space coming in. I think this is always a metaphor for the AI. AI is in the word aliens, right? And when they talk about space, they're really talking about venturing into cyberspace more and more, right? Satellite to satellite payments, IoT to IoT device payments. IOTA is perfect. Dude, IOTA is a super quiet one, right? IOTA is a hard one to get. IOTA is a really good opportunity, without a doubt. We love the cryptos that are so damn quiet that they're not even trying to get X followers. They don't care about that. They got the enterprise followers. They got the enterprise partners. They got NDAs. They don't care if you're in it or not. The banks don't want you to be in it. So they tell them, don't talk about it. Don't try to get X followers, right? People have no idea what's about to... Dude, XRP world, this is so deep. This is too deep, man. This is a lot deeper than we think, boys. You should check out our advanced space propulsion based on vacuum time space metrics. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're going to probably be doing, traveling from planet to planet, right? But I also think it's just going to be metaverse stuff. Like, you're going to be traveling anywhere you want in the metaverse, in cyberspace, right? I mean, dude, I know Jed McCaleb is building freaking space stations that people can relax in and orbit around Earth. Dude, I'm too much of an old head to trust going into space. I'm not going into space. I'm not taking any ship in the early days into space whatsoever. I'm not doing that. I'm afraid of heights too. So, I mean, not like super afraid. Like when I'm on a plane, I can chill, I can watch a movie, whatever, right? But I'd rather not. I'd rather not go on a plane at all. But yeah, you know, if there's spaceship riding in the future, in our future here, I'm not taking them. I'm not going to be one of those test bunnies to, you know, even no matter as secure and as amazing. Hell, it's safer than even doing an airplane, right? Nope, not doing it. Not freaking doing it, right? I don't really care about the, you know, going out into space that much. I really don't. I don't want to know what they're building out there. I don't know what they have built out there. I don't want to see, you know, when I go out into orbit and going around in my spaceship, that is just a wall of satellites. I don't want to do that. That's what it is. There's a wall of satellites outside of our planet Earth, man. There, you know, I'm not about it. I don't want to see an ocean of satellites and just be like, holy crap, dude. They've launched millions of satellites out here and we didn't even freaking know about it. Right? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'll just live happily here on Earth with my feet. You know, I was born here. I'm going to stay here. Right? I'm going to grow old here. I'm going to enjoy, dude, I'm going to enjoy being able to be unplugged in this future. Right? By investing early in these digital assets, I'm going to be able to afford the exclusive right to unplug from the system. Right? I'm going to be able to afford to not be in the metaverse all the time working for drops. I'm going to be able to afford not plugging myself to a computer or, you know, having constant blue light exposure or freaking battery attached to my face, ears, mouth, body. No. That ain't for me. That's why we're freaking centering ourselves here with our own digital infrastructure, with our own blue foundation, right? I saw something really weird. So, dude, if you guys are into this type of talk, I really highly recommend, like maybe after we're about to end the stream, this is, you know what? This is assigned homework for the Blue Crew. If you guys want that, this is assigned homework. NTT Data Trust Awakening of the Banking Industry. They have an awakening series of all the industries, but the banking one is the pivotal one. The other ones are amazing, and they do mention crypto in those too. Awakening of the insurance industry, awakening of the telecom industry, awakening of the automotive industry. These are the only videos of their type that NTT Data ever made, and they're like high-end sci-fi flicks. I kid you not. It's like you're watching Westworld all over again in little episodes. It's freaking awesome. And they tell you about, they call it trusted digital assistants back in the day when they didn't know that it was going to be termed AI agents, right? But they tell you about that, right? Dude, this thing was made in 2014, about 10 years ago. It's absolutely absurd. The forward vision that they've already had. Or no, not 2014, my bad. Sorry, guys. Around 2018, 2019. They have interviews with R3, right, in some of these videos. But a lot of them are these like little movie moments following a character and their journey of understanding how digitization, tokenization are going to change their industry completely, right? That is the assigned reading. If you guys, I mean, dude, it'll be the best viewing you've ever done, right? It'll make you so bullish on digital assets that you won't be able to stop thinking about it, right? It's done that for me, man. Thinking about machine-to-machine payments, you know, digital twins, things like that. It's freaking coming. We have to be setting ourselves up with these infrastructure without a doubt and trying to find all the types of plays. Yes, we can, you know, do the plays that everybody's going for, but we can also do the play. There's enough room for both. Everybody always tries to pick one or the other, right? We are in a young market. Having as much possible exposure to anything in this market, as even if there's small swings, is going to have a tremendous impact, right? We're talking about people fighting over drops. Dude, Marvin Davis, I heard you in the last stream talking about, well, you can't just do like $50 here, $50 here, and $50 there on this crypto and that crypto. That's just too, like, what do you expect to make back? It's all about timing, right? It's all about the timeline. If I put $50 into a crypto that I don't care about, that like, okay, that $50 is gone. I'm not going to think about it in 10 years, right? Or I'll check up on it every now and again, but I'm going to hodl for the long term to see if I threw $50 into XPX, I'm already thinking I'm hodling until this thing becomes that end-to-end CBDC infrastructure provider. Because if it does, that $50 becomes $50,000 or $500,000, right? So, that's my mindset. We are in a young market. This is the first time ever in the history of our world that we have had an opportunity. I mean, maybe the stock market was another one, right? But this is our time, and this is the crypto market. Very young market, very low exposure. So having as much exposure into any of these can possibly be life-changing, right? In whatever level that we have, whether it's $1, $5, $6, if we're investing in quality, and that quality happens to come through when the FUD and the sentiment is at its absolute hardest and lowest, we can have the biggest freaking payoff. I am so grateful for everybody who tuned in. Thanks for hitting the like on the way out. Thanks to any new subscribers to the channel. Thanks to any new members, and for checking out the description below as well for any referral codes or my Coinbase ID if you guys want to donate. I am always grateful. I live a life of gratitude, and we're going to be so grateful for being prepared and established and establishing this Blue Foundation. Wonderful times. Thank you, Blue Foundation. Thank you, Green Giants. And thank you, Deep Red Alliance. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. We got the golden eyes, and we keep it crypto. I'll see you guys in the Blue Castle. Much love. Adios.